scary tale story.
They say the house on Larkspur Lane has been abandoned for 40 years, but the lights still turn on at night. I didn't believe that crap. I'm the type who laughs at ghost stories and watches horror movies while eating leftover spaghetti. But I needed a cheap place to stay while my apartment was fumigated, and when I found a listing for private room cheap, no questions asked, with an address matching Larkspur Lane, I told myself it was a weird coincidence. I met the landlord at dusk. A pale, thin woman with eyes that never quite looked at me. She handed me the keys without a word. When I stepped inside, the front door clicked shut on its own, like a mouth snapping closed. The place smelled like old wood and something sweet rotting in the walls. But it was clean enough, and I set up my laptop, determined to write it out for a week. That first night, the walls creaked and sighed as if breathing, but I told myself old houses settle, and the wind whistling under the door was nothing. At 2:34 a.m., I heard footsteps in the hallway. Slow, deliberate, coming from the dark end of the hall where the shadows stretched too long for how small the house was. I opened the door, shining my phone flashlight, but the hallway was empty. Only the smell was stronger, like wet leaves and spoiled sugar. When I closed the door, it thumped as if something had pressed against it from the other side. I didn't sleep after that. The second night, I noticed the hallway was longer. I'm not stupid. I measured it with my steps when I went to brush my teeth before bed. 12 steps before, 22 steps now. I thought maybe I was just tired until I turned around and realized the door to my room was gone. It was just wall, smooth and cold, the wood grain like veins under skin. I pounded and screamed until my fists were raw, and then the wall rippled and opened again, the door sliding out of the wood like a blister breaking. I should have left then, but where would I go at 3 a.m. with no car and nowhere else to stay? I locked the door, jammed a chair under the handle, and lay in bed, clutching my phone, eyes fixed on the crack under the door. That's when I saw the fingers. They slid under the crack, pale and too long, jointed wrong, pulling at the door like a child testing a present's wrapping paper. I didn't breathe, didn't move, praying it would go away. Then the voice came. A whisper so close to my ear I could feel its cold breath. Hungry. When I blinked, the fingers were gone. But the smell was worse, like something dead and sweet had crawled under my bed. I didn't sleep. On the third night, I found the basement door. I swear it wasn't there before. It was at the end of the hall where the shadows pooled, a thin door with a rusty handle. I don't know why I opened it. Maybe the house wanted me to. Maybe I wanted to know. The stairs went down far longer than the house should allow. I counted steps until I lost track, until the darkness swallowed the light from my phone, and all I could hear was breathing that wasn't mine. The walls pulsed, wet and warm, and I realized they weren't walls, but flesh. I saw teeth in the darkness, rows of them lining the corridor, gnashing slowly, wet and yellow. And I saw faces. They were half-formed, pressed into the walls, eyes open and mouths moving silently, skin stretched and merging with the flesh of the house. Some I recognized from missing person flyers. Some were just strangers, but all of them moved as if trying to scream. I turned to run, but the stairs were gone. The teeth opened and closed, the house chewing slowly, and I felt something grab my ankle. It was a hand, reaching from the floor, pulling me down into the flesh, into the soft, warm dark where the house digests what it keeps. I fought, screaming, clawing, and I don't remember how I got out, but I woke up on the floor of the hallway, the front door open, dawn breaking outside. I ran barefoot down the street until I collapsed. When I turned back, the house was just a house again. Old, broken windows leaning to one side, silent. I tried to tell the police, but they found nothing. No basement, no teeth, just rotting wood and dust. But at night, if you walk down Larkspur Lane, you'll see the lights in the windows. You'll hear voices if you get too close, whispering hungry. They say the house on Larkspur Lane is abandoned, that it's empty. But that's a lie. The house is never empty. It's full of its guests, and it's always hungry for more.
Like and subscribe to Scary Tales Story for more horror tales that will haunt your dreams and keep you checking the shadows.